hit me up, blah, 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 like some celeb hit me on Instagram, that is a big red flag, bro. Big flag. Okay? That tells you that she's like collecting like DMs and saving it. Like she's the type of weirdo bitch to like screenshot a DM, assuming it even happened. Assuming it's even true. Because we know that these OnlyFans girls like to lie a lot. Because like I said before, they're talentless. So since they're talentless, they have to kind of rely on like shock marketing to get anyone to watch their. Because the reality when it comes to OnlyFans girls is OnlyFans girls aren't really talented. Most of them are bimbos. Most of them are stupid. Most of them don't have any like real experience or skill sets to be able to draw an audience. So what they need to do is, because you guys got to remember, well, OnlyFans, the churn rate is extremely high. What is a churn rate? A churn rate is if you have a subscription service, are you able to retain the same people month to month, right? OnlyFans girls, since they really don't offer anything else 9 out of 10 times except for like being thoughts, what ends up happening is guys will like kind of sub for like the first month or two, maybe use a discount code or something, and then they'll immediately cancel, right? Because there's not really anything to keep them there, right? Like, okay, we got one naked chick here. There's naked chicks everywhere on OF, right? So what ends up happening is since women, a lot of these OF girls have such high churn rates, they have to find ways to get new people in to the funnel. So what they end up doing a lot of times is creating fake controversies to get eyeballs on them. And then when they get the eyeballs on them, 1% of those people are going to be weird gooners that are going to like goon to their and like subscribe, right? Joe Budden type niggas. So that's what they rely on. This is why girls like Bonnie Blue will sit there and lie that they got pregnant. This is why idiots like Sophie will say, oh, I make more money than LeBron, right? They're hoping to like kind of rage bait people into being more curious and watching their. So regardless of whether this is true or not, that's not really the point. The point here is to highlight two things. Number one, OnlyFans girls are talentless and they need to clout chase like this. And then number two, women like Sophie Rain, right? Whether it's OnlyFans girl, influencers, bitch, whatever, they all love to brag when famous men hit them up, which is really weird and strange. For example, remember guys, Larry Wheels' wife? She said, oh, look, Myron was in my DMs, blah, blah. I don't even remember that. It was like 3 years ago. But bitch, you're married now. Why do you even have that? Why do you have this screenshot of me allegedly hitting you up? And even if I did, look at her profile. Her profile had all these pictures. Larry Wheels is nowhere to be seen, bruh. So if anything, she exposed herself even more so. Bitch, you're married. Why do you have that? And then look at your Instagram profile. And then if you go to her Instagram profile today, she still has this. Larry Wheels is nowhere to be found, bruh. So this is a very, this is like an extremely strange thing that modern women do, by the way. Like, women used to be on the DL about their sexual escapades or about the men that they're dating. But we now live in a world where women have zero shame of being hoes. They got like zero shame, bro. Okay? And this is why, I'll literally talk about this in my book, Why Women Deserve Even Less. Real talk. I talk about how in today's day and age, all of the conventions that we had in place to handle hypergamy and the evil side of hypergamy is on. Feminism was originally about equality. Now it's about superiority at the cost of men. Also, feminism is about removing accountability from women for their stupid behavior. What do I mean by this? Well, you go back 50 years, let's say 1956 or something, right? Whatever, 70 years, doesn't matter, right? You go back to like, let's say 1956. And back then, if a woman was a whore, she kept that on the low. And the reason why is because she understood that there would be real social consequences for her being a slut. And there were certain things put in place in society to keep women in line. Shame, religion, family, the community, all of these different industries, for lack of a better term, work together in tandem, whether overtly or inadvertently, to keep women in line and protect them from themselves. After the 1960s and the sexual revolution and the explosion of feminism, one of the chief goals of feminism, besides equality, was removing shame and stigma from poor female behavior. I'm going to say that again. You guys need to understand that one of the main things that feminism focused on in the 1960s and beyond, besides creating some type of social parity between men and women, was also removing shame from poor female behavior. So what would have been offensive in the 1950s about a woman being a whore, having multiple guys, using guys, all this other, right? Things that a woman would never admit if she did do it for real. Now it's about removing the shackles so women can be overt in their, okay? That's what feminism is really about. Not holding women accountable for bad reproductive decisions. And then you fast forward, this is the world that we're in now. It used to be a woman would be ashamed for being single in her 20s or mid-20s. A woman would be ashamed to discuss her private relationship affairs publicly. Right? Now, not only are women openly talking about their relationships, they're openly talking about their horror stories, about famous men that hit them up. It's extremely shameful and weird, and it's uncouth. It's just like inappropriate for a lady to be discussing these things. But the only reason why women do this now is because we have eliminated the institutions that used to keep them in check. Now, obviously, you got guys like me that's trying to bring that back, bringing back slut shaming, everything else like that. But there's not enough of me to go around. Let's be honest. I'm trying to continue this revolution. I think, guys like me, Andrew Tate, etc., we've waked a lot of guys up that these guys need to wake up. But being honest here and realistic, we're dropping a bucket. There's not enough of us to really turn back the pernicious nature of what feminism has created. Because the cold hard reality is, for every one or two guys that thinks the way that I do, there are 2,000 that are willing to simp for no matter what. And people like Sophie Rain and other OnlyFans that are talentless have seized on this opportunity. If you remove shame, if you remove the family, if you remove religion and social norms, and you leave women to their own devices, they do stupid like this. Where some makes $2.99 selling pictures of her is trying to infer that she has more social status than a guy like Drake, who's an internationally recognized superstar and musician, and she's trying to create some level of parity with this individual. Yes, you heard that right. This talentless Sophie Rain, right, whether true or not, that's irrelevant, is trying to create parity with a male who is a world-renowned musician that will go down in the history books. Meanwhile, Sophie Rain doesn't even know how to read a book. Again, this adds more credence to what I've told you guys before. Women don't understand dominance hierarchies. Okay? They don't understand it. I feel like I'm like, I really got to smash this into your guys' head. Women do not understand meritocracy or dominance hierarchies because women don't really compete openly in the world like men do. Women covertly and cerebrally compete. Men overtly and physically compete. Men compete for status. Men compete for jobs. Men compete in an arena, whether it's sports or whatever. It is an inherent part of the masculine journey is competing. For women, they compete, but they don't tell each other they're competing. And they do it through the mind, cerebrally, and through, covert action. What do I mean by this? Well, the guys might be, hanging out the house. They'll play some poker and they'll play and compete and win or loser. Who cares? Yeah, Jim is the best poker player in our group. Cool. Women, on the other hand, they're not going to compete. You know what they're going to do? They're going to get dressed, go to the club, say that they all look beautiful, but they're really going to be competing, trying to look hotter than their friends and see who can get the most attention. They're not going to overtly talk about it or at the end of the night say, oh, I got this many numbers. No, they're going to be covert about it. So this is the difference between how men and women compete. Women compete covertly. Men compete overtly. And the reason why men compete overtly is because our status and our ability to garner sexual market value to attract the female is contingent upon our ability to compete and win. A woman's ability to get a mate, right, is not contingent upon her ability to compete overtly. Just be hot enough. You don't even got to be the hottest bitch. You just got to be hot enough. Most men would probably prefer a more average-looking woman, girl next door, than a bad bitch, because the bad bitch is going to be a headache. This is why Sophie Rain, who's a by the way, is so popular. She looks like every other America. But even though she looks like every other America and is average, she thinks she's on the same ground and playing field as Drake. Hence what you guys are going to hear right now with her stupid commentary.
Drake's been in your DMs.
Yeah, Drake's been in my I have his phone number. But
Have you guys talked?
Yeah, we've talked, but I fumbled. I fumbled really hard.
Wait, how do you fumble? How did you fumble?
Okay, because he wanted me to
It's like
fly to the
breaking news.
Bahamas, and then I had something, so I stopped texting him. And then I texted him, and he was like, "Oh, you're texting me because you're not busy." So like, I fumbled because like,
Drake wanted you to go.
Yeah, bro. It's like, see how she's like kind of backhand dissing him, but she's also kind of saying like, well, I kind of fumbled, blah, blah, blah. Right? To not come off like too. This is very deceptive language. Like she's over here trying to paint him as like, oh, look, he invited me to do X, Y, Z, but I kind of fumbled because I didn't respond back to him. So see, bitch, she thinks she's smart by framing it that way. She knows she's on camera. She knows people are going to be whatever. And they know if she like acts too, they're going to be like, bitch, who do you think you are? So she walked it back a little bit by saying, oh, I fumbled. Yeah, even bring up the story. Why'd you even bring up the story, bro? She did it to like kind of pseudo flex. Assuming this is even real, it's probably a lie, to be honest with y'all. But whether it's a lie or not, like I said before, is irrelevant. I'm focusing on the fact that mid bitches that have no skill, no talent, feel as though they can comment on individuals that are superior and way more talented than they are. That's my grievance here. This is literally a that shows pictures of her bragging about, allegedly, a world-renowned music star hitting her up. Then she walks it back a little bit saying like, well, I kind of fumbled. Bro, we know what the you're doing, man. I know what you're doing. You can't fool any of us.
Go to the Bahamas.
This like fake humble brag.
yeah.
Peachlini.
I didn't want to go by
Peachlini.
myself. I didn't want to go by myself.
Peachlini.
Ghosting Drake is way.
Bro, who the are these people? Like, bro, not everybody deserves a mic, man. What the these are some weirdo idiots.
Way cooler.
That I know.
Yeah.
And then that's what he said. He said, "Oh, you're just gonna ghost me again, aren't you?"
Drake, the type of guy to slide into Sophie Rain's DM.
How
Get ghosted.
shocked
Yeah, bro, he slides in every girl's DMs. Who cares, bro? Like, these bitches really think they're special, bro. Yo, nigga, like Game got caught for the called like he sends the same DM every time. Oh, you look like a snack or something. Like, bro, niggas just send the same exact DM to 100 bitches, bro. Like, women are really stupid. They don't get it. Oh my God, bro. Like, it's like you guys don't understand that guys that are good with women like shoot their shot with hundreds of girls. You dumb. It's like incredible how dense they are.
But he was so awesome. Like I don't mean to. I'm just busy. I'm sorry.
Shut the up. What are you talking about, bro? I'm busy. Bro, you don't consistently make fun. You don't stream. You don't do any long form content. You shoot like 3 to 5 second clips and for TikTok and like, bro, shut the up, man. Like, yo, they're not busy like they think they are, bro. Like, you make short form content. Shut the up, bro. You literally, like, what a lot of these short form content people do is they'll take one day and they'll film like 30 videos. And then they'll be good for the month. That's what most short form content people do. They shoot a bunch of reels, bunch of TikToks, bunch of little shorts, whatever. They'll do that shit like once a month and then bam, they're good. And they don't do that. Right? So again, one of the things that irks me the most is when like thoughts think they're on par comparing themselves to like male celebrities. And just so you guys know, I don't like Drake, FYI. Let me be explicitly clear about this. I have been a very strong critic of Drake because I feel as though, not even I feel, I know, okay? I know, and I can show this with proof, that Drake has been a critical component to the pussification of the modern man. I'm not going to say he's solely responsible, but what I will say is that he's partially responsible for the bitchification of the modern man. Okay? Drake is the king of type music, of crying over and being emotional within confinements of relationships. Now, what people don't understand that as a musician like Drake, that will be good for you because it looks like you're, relatable and you're like talking about, but like as a regular nigga, bro, that's a death sentence for you. Drake can get away with all this and being soft. You can't. You can't. So Drake, because Drake's been around, guys, like he's been popular since like 2007, since I was in high school, bro. His reign over the music industry, I would argue, has been a significant contributor to the general emasculization of men in the West. Is he the sole problem? No, but he is a part of the problem, for sure. And if any of you guys have ever watched like a Drake interview or watch how he interacts, he's extremely feminine. His mannerisms are strange. He's extremely feminine. His hand gestures, the way he speaks, the way he behaves, when he's not in a music video or not making music. Like, these rappers are different people when you actually watch them sit down and do interviews. That Drake is going to be a legend at the end of the day. I'm able to put my dislike for him aside and acknowledge his talent. And that is why I'm coming out and saying that he is talented, Sophie Rain is not. And for Sophie Rain to even mention herself in the same sentence as this nigga is a fucking insult to all of us. Now, moving on. I wanted to show you guys this clip, or actually this interview, of James Fishback going back and forth with Sophie Rain.